This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight now, we bring you a discussion on India-European Union Summit 2020. The participants are Sandeep Phukan, political analyst, and Aditi Tandon, journalist.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today addressed the 15th India-EU Summit virtually. In fact, the first summit that was held virtually. We recall that this summit had to be postponed in March on account of the raging COVID-19 pandemic. And in his inaugural address today, Sandeep, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke of the need for India and EU to expand their relationship and deepen it. And the Prime Minister also made a reference to the fact that both these blocs need an action-oriented agenda for strengthening the ties going further. He made a very categorical reference that India and the European Union need a long-term strategic perspective and also an agenda which is action-oriented and which can be accomplished within a stipulated time frame. In his address, the Prime Minister also said that India and the EU are natural partners because of the obvious reason that both these regions value the universal principles of democracy, pluralism, inclusivity. But the most important reference that the Prime Minister made was to the fact that both these regions have battled the COVID-19 pandemic with great resilience. You would recall that Italy, France, Germany were among the worst hit in the initial stages of the pandemic when the first wave was still, moving up. And now, of course, in the European region, the infections are stabilizing and the load of infection is more in India where the cases are now peaking. So the Prime Minister said that in the post-COVID-19 world, both India and the EU will play a very important role in economic reconstruction of the world. How do you look at this comment?
As you rightly pointed out, that this summit had to be postponed because when it was originally scheduled, Europe was in the midst of the COVID pandemic, and from Italy to France to Spain to Germany, all of them were in the grip of the pandemic. Now, of course, the situation has stabilized. The Prime Minister, in his opening remarks, referred to it and expressed his sympathies, and he did mention about, the role that European Union, and which is a bloc of 27 countries, and India would make, even in terms of economic recovery post-COVID-19. I think it's a very significant statement simply because that it's not just about the economy. I would also add that even at this stage, there is a considerable exchange of information and knowledge, even with regard to fighting the pandemic. We know that researchers all over the world are going on to come up with a vaccine as soon as possible. Trials have already started in India. And even earlier, you would recall, Aditi, that India did play an important role in terms of supply of medicine, essential medicines. Prime Minister Modi, in another conference earlier, had said that the importance of Indian pharmaceutical industry is evident to the world in this pandemic. Whether it was, common flu medicine like paracetamol or hydrochloroquine or, all these life-saving drugs or other medical equipment, India has been able to scale up its production, has been able to supply to the world. In one of his Mann Ki Baat, I recall Prime Minister Modi had said that, it is in our culture that we should help ourselves, but we should also help others in need. So in that context as well, I think India has played an important role. Another important aspect of India's experience with the pandemic is that though the cases are rising, in terms of even one death or loss of life is precious, but so far, despite the number of cases, the recovery rate has gone up over 60%, and also the number of deaths because of COVID has also been kept low, and that's been also a lesson from India to other countries in terms of...
I think coming back to what you said about Prime Minister's reference earlier on that India has been a very important supplier of drugs and pharmaceuticals to the world, that has been the case throughout, and especially in respect of COVID-19. And let's also not forget that India is also supplying 60% of world's vaccine supplies. And it was stated by the Indian Council of Medical Research Director General Balram Bhargav yesterday that any vaccine candidate for COVID-19 that is developed anywhere in the world, whether it's the US, whether it's Russia, or in the European Union or India, You see, India and China are the biggest producers of vaccine, and without the help of either of them, you cannot have mass production of a COVID vaccine which will be needed by the entire world. So in that context also, I think the reference to COVID-19 by Prime Minister was important. The next point that the Prime Minister made, Sandeep, on which I would like you to comment, is the fact that India and the EU are natural partners. You see, the Prime Minister also brought in the reference to the rules-based international order coming under strain. He did not name China, but his reference, the Wales reference, was naturally to the territorial adventurism of China, as we have seen along the line of actual control in Ladakh. How do you see that?
Yes, absolutely. I think very, very clear signal that, at a time when relations between India and China have become very strained because of the face-off on the Ladakh border and hostilities have grown in recent past, it's very clear that new relationships are being forged, older relationships are being made stronger. And in that context, it's very important that Prime Minister talked about that, how international respect for international institutions, democracy, pluralism, multilateralism, freedom, transparency, these are all values that India and European Union share. And, he said that in that context, India and European Union are natural partners, whether it is, respect of international institutions or whether it is democracy, inclusiveness. These are values that both the blocs, both India and the European Union bloc shares. It is a very, very significant statement in the context of China. We know that beginning May, we've had very frosty relationships. We've had that rather unfortunate clashes between the Indian and Chinese troops mid-June at Galwan Valley. Since then, of course, the hostilities, there have been very sincere efforts on both, there have been efforts made by both India and China to reduce tensions. But I think in the backdrop of larger scheme of things and long-term foreign policy goals, it's a very significant statement coming from the Prime Minister that, European Union and India are natural partners when it comes to sharing these values.
And in fact, the EU was briefed by both the Indian and Chinese authorities ahead of the India-EU summit on the de-escalation process which is underway along the LAC. And the EU officials yesterday said on record that we trust both Indian and Chinese authorities and look to continue the dialogue in order to find a peaceful solution to the differences. And they also said that it's particularly important that India and China talk to each other, because these two are the world's very powerful and influential players today. So obviously, as you said, the importance of giving respect to international rules-based order.
Prime Minister, in his statement, if I can just read out one of the statements that he said, "Hamari partnership विश्व में शांति और स्थिरता के लिए भी उपयोगी है." So, that's a very clear indication that for peace and stability, the stronger relationship between the European Union and India is very much the order of the day, and that is exactly what the Prime Minister hinted. And as I said, that in the backdrop of the volatility in the relationship between India and China, this is a very significant statement.
Yeah, of course, and I think China is going to be one of the key topics of discussion at the virtual meeting which is going on. And coming to the economic recovery challenge which the entire world will face, Sandeep, after the COVID-19 pandemic, Mr. Modi's important statement in the opening remarks also was that the people of both India and the European Union, their health as well as prosperity is under strain and challenges are being faced now. So economic recovery is going to play a very important role, and considering that the EU has been one of the largest trading partners of India, and we have had a considerable trade volume with the EU, the 27-nation bloc, and trade also is one of the important agenda items, and it will be discussed, how to further. You also might recall that there is a pending discussion on the free trade agreement on a trade agreement with the EU bloc, which hasn't quite matured. So one of the agenda items is trade. How do you look at that, considering economic reconstruction will play an important role in the post-COVID world?
It's a very tricky issue. It's a challenging issue for the simple reason that, yes, in a post-COVID world, both India and the European Union would like to recover in terms of their economic recovery as fast as possible. But of late, we've also seen that many of the big countries have also become very protectionist, closing their markets, increasing their tariffs. These are significant challenges for countries that seek to look at foreign markets to shore up their exports. European Union is certainly going to be one market where India would look, post-COVID recovery. European Union is one market where India would look to play an important role in terms of export. Some data that I had that India's bilateral trade with the European Union in 2018-19, where exports were nearly, 57 billion US dollars. Since the beginning of March, after everything has shut down, clearly we've seen that export sector is one sector that's been very badly hit. So obviously European Union is a very important bloc for India to scale up and also to scale up its exports. But as I said, that the tricky issue is that many countries, including India, has come up with the slogan of Atmanirbhar, so that one doesn't have to depend too much on imports. But Prime Minister Modi, of course, at various fora, he has clarified that Atmanirbhar does not mean closing economy, but, trying to be self-reliant. So I think that is a tricky part. Many other countries have also sort of resorted to protectionist measures. So how do you protect your own economy at the same time expand and also sell your products in markets elsewhere? I think that's a challenge that policymakers will have to find out.
It's a very difficult terrain to negotiate, and for both India and the EU, it will be a very important item on the agenda. Everybody believes on both sides that the trade potential of the two regions is underutilized. But as you correctly said, that at a time when self-reliance is the motto, how do nations negotiate such a terrain will be something which we have to watch out for. Going forward from there, Sandeep, the other important issue is the issue of climate change. The Prime Minister made a reference to the need to continue placing stress and weight on the very important issue of climate change, because somewhere even the COVID pandemic is related to the ecological imbalance. There is no doubt that the greater contact between pathogens and human beings is leading to new viral strains entering the community, lot of contagion, jumping species, and all this is happening ultimately because mankind is disturbing nature and nature is getting back at mankind in various ways. So naturally this whole ecological disturbance, climate change, everything is correlated. What we see today in the form of disease also has its genesis somewhere in environmental destruction. So going forward, the topic of climate change is also going to be important, and how nations are going to look at that issue and prevent, the planet from going onto the path of destruction.
It's going to be a very important part of the India-EU dialogue. Prime Minister Modi, in his opening remarks, quite clearly said that, the climate change is going to be part of the long-term challenges that both India as well as EU faces, and they need to work closely together. And you're right. There have been a lot of material now in the public domain saying that how COVID is basically a reset button in terms of, what has been happening in the world, whether it's sort of overutilization of natural resources or, almost blinded industrialization. So that is, of course, a point of view. In his opening remarks, Prime Minister talked about, that is why perhaps he talked about human-centric globalization when he said that both India and European Union will play an important role in terms of, rebuilding world economy in a post-COVID world. But he used the word human-centric globalization, and he also talked about climate change being one of the key long-term challenges. He mentioned about renewable energy and investments in such technology as part of furthering the agenda for a cleaner and safer environment. In his opening remarks, Prime Minister Modi mentioned about renewable energy and the investments in technology and such cleaner and safer technology, keeping in mind the issue of climate change and protecting the climate and environment.
Thanks for your time, Sandeep.
Thank you very much.
You were listening to a discussion on India-European Union Summit 2020. The participants were Sandeep Phukan, political analyst, and Aditi Tandon, journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our website newsonair.com. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com.